my gosh, I did it. That's pretty cool. To be honest with you, like now that Pasta showed me how to put excuse me, how to put backtracks into things, I got an opening. Oh my gosh, how cool is that? Sorry, Dance with Devils. I took your stuff. Anyway, who doesn't want to start their podcast off with singing chihuahuas? Anyway, that was kind of a spur of the moment thought, and that really wasn't how I intended to start this podcast. But hi, guys. Excuse me. Shoujo Thoughts coming to you like an awesome possum, even though I'm sick. Yeah, but don't feel too bad for me. I could be doing this recording tomorrow, and I really do have some homework to be getting at before class tonight. Excuse me again. But with no actual assurance that the morning will kind of, bring a return to my usual functionality, I'm recording this podcast tonight, which is Wednesday, for a Saturday post, because the conclusion of the Lenten season brings with it, Monday, Thursday, Good Friday, and lots of helping my mom with Easter prep. So not to mention the husband's birthday is on Saturday. I got him the coolest present, guys. He's going to flip. He's going to love it. But anyway, I've got quite a bit to touch on this week. Well, really, I guess it's not that many things, but it's the content of those things. So let's get right to it, shall we? It's time for a blogosphere update. So on my own blog, since our last post, you will notice that I have made, I guess, I haven't talked about this since the last podcast. Pasta showed me how to add backtracks to Audacity. And so even though I don't know how to do any other editing besides like cut and paste and add a backtrack, I did a little bit of singing, which was really cool because I wanted to do it. I'm going to get a drink, hold on. All right. And I really wanted to give it a shot, and it was really fun. So thank you, Pasta, for that. And then, so I have a post about that, Shoujo Sings, and then I have I love this post too much. From Boys to Men, the progression of the Udapri boy band Starish, because who doesn't love idol shows? But I mean boy idol shows, because, hello, those are the only ones that should count. And then an off-topic post that I called Regarding the Puddle Jumper, Thoughts on Love and Life, or Life and Love, if you want to give that a read. Another Fan Fiction Friday post, of course, featuring Oran High School Host Club. And then the big news that I'm going to spoil now if you haven't heard it already, I am going to Anime Expo 2017 all the way in California, getting on a plane, and it's going to be something. So more on that later. And then as far as other people's blogs go, excuse me again, I'm so sorry. I'm probably going to mention 4. Again, there were more than this that I have read and really enjoyed, but I'm just using these 4 because. So, Karandi wrote, from 100 Word Anime, wrote a Tuesday Top 5, which was visually appealing anime titles, which was just kind of fun. I liked it because I think that the way that an anime presents itself through its, title image, through its opening music, is actually one of the biggest conveyors to me of whether or not I'm going to enjoy a show. It's obviously it's one of the first things you see, and it kind of becomes representative of what to expect. And so, it was neat. And, even though, Karandi and I don't necessarily have the same picks for the coolest, most visually appealing anime title pieces, it was just neat, like the idea of looking at that. Scott wrote, I guess I should say where he's from. So Scott is over at Mechanical Anime Reviews. Did I say that right? I just think of him as Scott, so it's, I might be saying this wrong. But anyway, Scott wrote a post about the advantages of a longer anime series. And he says he prefers the ones that are shorter, those kind of 12 to 13 episodic arcs, and then it's over. But then he did make a list of reasons why a longer series might be appreciated. And personally, for me, I don't really care about the length of a series if it's done well. You know, I could, if Black Butler all took place in one long series, I would watch that. I would love that. If Utapri took place all in one long series, I would like that. I would love that. But then there are some titles that, you know, just the way they are, being short, being compact, worked so well for the way that they displayed their content. I suppose that, you know, I wouldn't change a thing. So, like I said, I like them either way, but it was interesting looking at some of the advantages that he listed there. Hazelin from Archie Anime wrote top 10 raven-haired men, and Maury's on the list, and so is Roy Mustang. So check it out, guys. And then, lastly, but certainly not least, I scrolled up looking for the name of that blog. Where is it? Oh yeah, I don't even need to look for it. So, Arya wrote a blog post about how to tell if you've been watching too much Yuri on Ice. And let's be honest with you, like, all of us have been watching too much Yuri on Ice. Well, maybe not all of us, but a lot of us have been watching too much Yuri on Ice. So that was really entertaining. And if I were you, I'd go give that a look. Excuse me, I'm going to cough. All right. Things up for the discussion this episode. To start off with, should I be watching Attack on Titan? I've never seen it. I understand the basic premise of it. It doesn't really seem like something that would be one of my genres, but I've been surprised before by different things. You know, I liked Death Parade. I loved Black Butler. So, should I be watching it? Leave a comment. Let me know if you like it, if you think I would like it. I mean, at this point, if you've been following me at all, you kind of know the things that I'm into, so you'd be able to make a pretty good educated guess about that. Moving on from that, things that surprised me, maybe not like completely surprised, but a little bit, I don't know. Basically, Armstrong is life. I am watching Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and I mean, this can totally turn into a debate about what I should be watching, whether it's Brotherhood or the original, like, do what you want in the comments, but I'm already watching Brotherhood, and I really, really, really like it. It's not something that I would, the coughing is ruining this, I know. It's not something that I would typically find all of that appealing, like you would, I suppose that's not accurate to say. Let me collect myself and rephrase that. Full Metal Alchemist, before you know anything about it, just the way that it looks. You know, you see military people and this giant suit of armor and this kid with the red cloak, and you know there's not going to be romance in that, and it isn't one of those titles that I just automatically go, I'm going to watch that. But I did start watching it, and I really liked it. I'm really enjoying it. The plot is wonderful. The interactions between the characters are wonderful. The characterization is phenomenal. The art, I have no problem with the art. Of course, the opening would have sold it for me if nothing else did. I was in love with Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood opening music before I ever watched it. So, I mean, it's the subtle things, I think, about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood that I like the most. The way that characters will look at each other. The way that physically, the way that they stand, the way that they, you know, cluster. As weird as it sounds, the things that I really appreciate are so subtle that it's hard for me to articulate them, and I will, in a blog post at a later date, try to put these things into words, but now, spontaneously, speaking off the cuff, it's hard for me to express what I'm trying to get out. But the other thing that I like about Brotherhood is that it's so dark, but it's never too dark. I mean, like I said, off the cuff, this is very difficult to explain, but the themes are very dark, obviously. But there is enough interspersing of humor that, okay, the way that my friend explained it, it was, there's never an episode, like an entirety of an episode, that leaves you wanting to cry the entire time. You can have very serious, intense episodes, but there will still be humor within those episodes that makes you, giggle or smile. And so, it's heavy material, but it's approached in a way that I really admire. And then, like I said, I'll get really into that in a post, of course. And then the last thing I want to talk about this week is the anime convention. So like I said, I did write a blog post about it, but I'm just going to talk here a little bit about how this all came to be. So several months ago, my friend and I, who has not picked his, screen name yet, so I'm letting him decide that before I call him anything, but we were talking about, anime, and I think it was me. I think I brought up the Anime Expo and how it looked really neat. Like, I would like to go there someday. And it was one of those things that you just, like, you would like to do it, but you don't know that it's ever actually going to happen. And, he agreed, and he said that he would like to do so as well. And, it's all the way in California and this, that, and the other thing. And so we talked about it, and then it slipped from our minds for a while. Well, of course, I still knew that it was coming, but I didn't foresee myself getting there until my husband, who, if maybe you've caught on in the past, is a huge gamer. And he's going to BlizzCon. Like, how exciting is that for him? He has always wanted to go. Him and his best friend are going to BlizzCon in November. They're going to drive out, road trip. And it's going to be really fun for them. And, it got me thinking, if my husband can do it, if he can, strike out and take a trip like this, what's stopping me? So I just decided, excuse me, I am so sorry. I just decided that, if he could do it, I could do it too. And now the trouble lie in, how was I going to convince my friend who, his current situation doesn't lend itself necessarily to the logistical and financial nightmare that is undertaking a trip of this magnitude. Because, California is pretty far from where I am. But I was pleasantly surprised. After a few days of back and forth, we did get into contact, and he said that he would want to go. And I was just excited, and I was talking to him on Discord. I just screamed, and I ran downstairs to my husband's office, and I said, I'm going to the Anime Expo. We're going. He said yes. And my husband was so surprised as well. And after that, it all came together very quickly. That very same day, I guess, we were, the hotel was booked, the tickets were bought. Right now we're looking at flights, and this is real. I'm nervous about going. My husband's nervous about, BlizzCon too, because, going out and just being in a group of people that large, going out period, isn't something that, my cool type, kind of silent type husband does on a regular basis. And so he's a little nervous about that. My thing is that, well, I mean, I guess I don't need to go into all of it. I went into it in my blog post, but I am nervous about going. But I think this is going to be a good thing. I think this is going to be, this one of those once in a lifetime things. Like, maybe I'll go again, but maybe, life will get really crazy and I won't get another chance. And so I am going to make the most of this trip. And I'm going to cosplay as Toru Honda. I'm so excited about this. I found this woman who makes costumes because I do not have currently the time, although later, I might have some time, or the technical skill to make a quality Toru Honda costume. So I found a seamstress who is willing to undertake this for me, and I am so excited. I need to get some fake bangs. I'm trying to decide if I need a Momiji plushie to carry around. I haven't really found a Kyo the cat plushie or Yuki rat plushie, but I did find a Momiji bun bun, so I'm thinking about it. Need to get, the shoes and the socks, and I'm thinking about cosplaying, for maybe 2 days, maybe 3 days. Well, we'll see how it goes. Like I said, I've never done this before. We don't really know, it's going to be a learning experience. There's going to be a learning curve, but we'll have a good time, and that's the important part. And then, yeah, I really don't have that much else to say. I did think of something to tack on at the end here, though, because I was talking to Hazelyn about it, and then, well, I wasn't talking to her about it, but she brought it up while we were talking. And then I was on Netflix, and I saw it. They put Oran back on Netflix! You know what that means, don't you? We are back in business for those watch-alongs. Coming up here soon. I mean, it already started on, Kiss Him Not Me, but we're gonna add Oran back into the mix before you know it. So, yeah, I hope that you have a really wonderful Easter and that your lives are going swimmingly, that things are smooth, the path is straight, and that you don't have any worries. I also hope I get to feeling better, because being sick is no fun. You kind of feel like a crispy potato chip that's also drippy, from the nose. Oh, that was gross. I'm sorry for the illustration, but excuse me. I'm so sorry about all the coughing, guys. Anyway, I will let you go for this week, and I hope to, talk with you again soon. Bye-bye.